nice having your own music. Welcome to the Reggie Parker Show, and I'm Reggie Parker, and you're not. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day. Hope life is treating you well. If not, I hope it gets better. Today's show is going to be hopefully not too long, but it's just a topic that I feel in my heart we need to start talking about because I never hear people talking about it. I hear other people talking about it, but I don't hear it involving musicians. When musicians get together, what is it that they don't talk about? Something very important. One thing musicians do when they get together is it's almost like a boisterous type of spirit. Yo, I'm out here in the tour with such and such. I just got home from this tour. I'm doing good. I just produced this record. Everything is good. Nobody is doing bad. At least that's what they say in that room. The one thing that you never hear when you see musicians when they say, yo, what's up? You'll never ever hear them say, yo, man, I'm struggling. I'm struggling mentally. I'm struggling financially. My health isn't good. You never hear that. Black men have a bad greeting that they do when they see one another. You've heard it. Yo, what's up, Reg? Everything good? That's the dumbest saying in the world, in my opinion. Because right now, this is 2024, the end of 2024. And you know good and well everything is not good in your life. Oh, but Reg, it's just a saying. It's not a good saying because most people aren't doing good. Nowadays, they tell you, yo, Reg, what do they say? They tell you you're doing good. They say, Reg, everything good, right? Nah, bro. Most men are just going to say, yeah, everything's good because they have that type of spirit. Yeah, I'm good. I want you to think I'm good. I ain't going to tell you I'm bad. Let me say this to you guys. Speaking to musicians, and I guess we can open it up for men in general. You got to stop holding things inside of you, trying to let the world know that you are good, you're strong, your shoulders are up. Life is not like that. There's going to be plenty of times where you're not doing good. And I have a saying, it's okay not to be okay. And as a man, a lot of times a man will just keep it all in. And one thing about when you feel like you're about to cry and you hold it in, you know what you actually holding back and keep it inside of you? Stress. Crying is a stress reliever. Stop letting the world and other people tell you or letting people make you think that if you cry, you're less of a man. That's the dumbest shit ever said. If you're a man and you want to cry, cry. That's how the human body was made. It's part of your being to cry, to make tears. If you're crying, you're obviously crying for a reason. Let it out. I cry when I think about my mom. My mom passed away last year. Out of the blue, it's like getting hit with a right uppercut while I'm asleep. I never saw it coming. Just hit you. I cry when I think about my dad who passed 2007. Still to this day, when I think of him, I cry. There's times I want to hear his voice. I want to get wisdom from him. I wrote a song called Heaven, dedicated it to him. Very deep song. So yeah, cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. Life gets hard. And if you have a moment where it hits you, just let it out. You hang around clowns, you get clown results. You hang around wisdom, you're going to get wisdom. A lot of you are hanging around clowns, and all you do is laugh. Ha ha ha, but there's no wisdom being shared. When you hang around clowns, the ignorance stays high. When you hang around wisdom, your ignorance level is going to drop because you're learning. A wise man will tell you, yeah, life is hard. Your mental is gonna take a beating sometimes. There's gonna be days where you get depressed. Now see, with mental health, it's like an alcoholic drinker. Some of us who are not alcoholics can drink a couple of drinks. I'm not urging you to drink. So don't say, oh, the Reggie Parker show told me to drink. No, 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 no. I never said that. Just making an analogy. When you drink, you can say, all right, one drink. And somebody says, you want another one? No, I'm good. You can stop. You have control. It's just like mental health. Some people, some days you may feel a little down, a little depressed. But then you get past that. You can do something and it doesn't keep you down. When you have a mental illness, it keeps you down. You stay depressed. What are some symptoms? You stay in the bed too long. You want to just lay in the bed. You just don't want to do nothing. You're not happy. You don't hang out. You don't talk to anybody. That's a major, major sign. A lot of people have anxiety. They're just constantly nervous. Everything just gets them crazy. Or the bus is going to be late. Oh, my God. They just lose it. It's mental. It's a brain thing. Some people have ADHD. They can't focus, can't keep their attention. When I went to grad school, before I went to grad school, I had a different lens of how I saw people. After I graduated, I could see, wow, this person is seriously anxious. Just everything, all over the place. Mind's constantly racing, can't sit still, nervous, fidgety, constantly shaking. And now when I think back, I remember so many musicians being the same way. Anxious, depressed, can't focus. A young man, somebody sent me a track of them playing. And when I heard it, he wanted my opinion. And I said, hey, bro, no offense, but are you anxious? Do you have anxiety? And he hit me back, say, yo, how did you know that? I said, unfortunately, I can hear it in your playing. You're all over the place. You come up with a nice line, and then you can't sit there and just keep playing that line. You go to something else, you never revisit that line. That's the line that's the hook that should stay with people's memories. But you missed it. And he said, well, I'm struggling now. I'm trying to stop smoking, and I'm addicted to nicotine. And you're right, I definitely have anxiety. So what I admired about him, he's a musician, and he could admit, yes, I do have a mental situation, a mental challenge, which is anxiety. And it's affecting his playing, ladies and gentlemen. So the point I'm trying to make. Your anxiety, your mental challenge, your mental illness can start affecting your playing, can start affecting your life. There's nothing wrong with feeling like, you know what, something is not right. Let me go and get checked out and let somebody kind of, analyze my situation. What's wrong with me, doc? Tell them the truth. I just don't have any I don't have a social life. I don't like talking to people all of a sudden, whereas I used to, but now I just lay in the bed. Now I'm very depressed all day. I cry a lot. I don't want to be around nobody. It's fine. It's fine. One thing I would tell you not to do, and this is my personal opinion, don't just cry for help on your social media page. Stop saying, I'm not okay. I'm depressed. It's over. Stop it. Go get therapy. Facebook is not therapy. What you're doing on that is just looking for attention. That's not going to help you. That's not going to change your situation. So many people now are just looking for attention. They're not looking for help. They're not looking for solutions. Go see a therapist. And when you go see a therapist, and you see a good therapist, and this is where I ran into problems with some people. If you get a good therapist, they're going to tell you one thing that may hurt your feelings even more. And that is the truth. I have a saying, the truth only hurts. The truth only bothers you. The truth only gets your attention when it's true. I posted many things on my social media page, musician related, bass player related. And when I gave my opinion, people had a hissy fit, lost their mind. because it has some truth to it, and it was from who was saying it. But I'm just trying to tell you, be ready for the truth. A lot of clients that I seen weren't ready for the truth, male, female. And then they'll say, "Oh, we're not a good fit." Yeah, we're not a good fit because you're not ready for the truth. You're not ready to be helped. We were a great fit because I'm going to tell you the truth. You got therapists out here that tell you to do one thing and then they live in their life a whole different way. You want a therapist that's just going to be brutally honest with you. Yeah, I struggle myself with that, you know. It's all good because we all human beings. Just be ready for the truth, musicians. And a lot of male musicians are struggling with divorce. Do you have any clue how divorce could affect you in the negative? You're in the negative. A divorce can knock you out, not down. A divorce can knock you out. Things are going well, and all of a sudden, it's over. I don't want to be with you. It could be the woman telling you, I don't want to be with you anymore. It could be a woman saying, you know what, I found somebody else. That's devastating to a man, especially to a heterosexual man, especially to a heterosexual male musician who is popular and gets all the attention. It's like, wait a minute. This lady says she found another man over me. It is what it is. Donald Trump won the presidency. It is what it is. Some things you can't change it. Now you have to start to say, well, maybe, why did she find another man? Maybe I could have been there for her. You know, traveling as a musician can really hurt you in the end. If you got a lady at home and you constantly on the road, what if you're never there and she has hormones and feelings? Let's be clear, women get horny too. Men just think it's just about us being horny. We do what we want. No, it don't work like that. There's some women, they get in their feelings. You're never home. You in Japan. You going to Australia next. Going to wherever next. One place you ain't going is home. And she mess around on you. Now she's the bad guy. You got to understand that about being a traveling or untoured musician. If you got a lady at home, a girlfriend or a wife, your ass ain't there. Things are possible. It's always good when the male musician cheats and but what happens when if the lady is the one on the road in your home and she cheats? How would you feel another man's banging your lady out? It's not a good feeling, right? But that could also mess with your mental. So many things. The point I'm making is there's many things in this world that can mess with your mental. And if you don't have someone in your life that you can talk to and just be brutally honest, knowing that what you say to them stays there, you're going to struggle because there's many things in life you're going to have to talk to somebody about. I'm blessed to have my brother, my blood brother, my younger brother, my only brother. I could tell him anything. And I know it's not going anywhere. It's between he and I. But we have that bond, that love bond, where it's just that respect level can't be broken. And you have to find somebody in your life, male musicians, males, period, and talk about it. It got to be talked about. You can't hold it inside you. You can't, because life is not going to apologize to you for what it brings your way. Never going to happen. Never. Life has no feelings and it does not care about yours. Just be careful because it is going to be a time, your time may not have come yet. Life is good right now. Every day is sunny. Just know it's not going to stay sunny. And when it gets challenging and it's cloudy and raining and flooding, and you're going to have to figure out a way to keep going. Death is going to come your way. My mother used to always say, no matter if you know death is coming in 2 seconds, when that person dies, it's not easy to handle. They never prepare us for death. No one ever sits you down and talks to you about death. They have that birds and the bees discussion, talk about sex with your kids. You've got to start talking about death. Because a lot of people struggle with handling death. A lot of people. Because no one ever prepares them for it. We don't have no death conversation. Death is part of life. When do we ever have that conversation? My parents didn't talk to me about that. You know, my father died of prostate cancer, so the doctors told us it's just a matter of time. That hurt. That wasn't an easy punch to handle, but it didn't knock me out, but it hurt. My hero, my dad was my hero, still is. And then many years later, my mom, Parkinson's. Just a matter of time. That's a devastating disease to have. Devastating. Just a matter of time. But, I've shared great times with her. She knew how much I loved her. We had those conversations a million times. And one thing she started to share with me, I would say a year before, 2 years ago, when she can still talk, and she said how much regret she had in life. And this is a message for you musicians out there about not going for it. Her biggest thing was procrastination. She wanted to do this, she wanted to do that, but she stood by my father's side as he was the pastor, doing what she could to help him. But in the end, she had regrets of doing that and not doing stuff for herself, to make herself happy. She was making my dad happy, but was not making herself happy. You got to make yourself happy. And one thing about being happy is you got to make sure your mental is right. Musicians, stop trying to come walk in the door and everybody think you got all this swag, you got it going on. What on the inside you're broken, but on the outside you look like you were just the man, the woman. Talking to women too. More so the men. But like I said, a lot of things can affect your mental. That divorce, financial, you're struggling financially. That's a biggie. Biggie. A lot of musicians watching this right now, you struggling, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your cell phone bill, cable bill, car note. And a lot of you are dependent on that church check. And when you get fired, that can bring about mental challenges. My father used to always tell me, Reggie, don't depend on the church to get you by, because you just can't trust the situation. He wasn't saying that to knock it. He just knew he was pastor himself. One thing I don't want to see, because one thing that's a biggie is musicians with social media, you guys, probably without even knowing it, create a bad mental for yourself, because you start to compare yourself to other musicians that you see on a daily basis that in your mind are doing good. They get the followers, the likes constantly, no matter what they post. They get a huge amount of likes. Then they go on tour. They're doing stuff that you think, wow, that should be me. No, that's not. That shouldn't be you. That's not your destiny. You have your own destiny in life. Comparisons is a problem today. It's causing a lot of people to become depressed and not like who they are. You got to fall in love with yourself first. And I don't think a lot of musicians are in love with themselves. You got to start to find your own voice on your instrument, your own voice in your life. Music is not for everybody. Breaking news, this just in. Music is not for everybody. Music can make you have a good time in life. I would suggest to you that you just enjoy whatever instrument you play to its fullest. Stop comparing yourself to others and realize what's for you is for you. And I'm going to say this is something really deep that I think needs to be said. Every musician is not going to make it to the top. Every musician is not going to have their name known in any genre. You may never be known. It doesn't mean that you can't have a great time. There's basketball players out here that could play their tails off, never were drafted. The world doesn't know who they are, but they play every day. You know why? Passion. It's in their heart to do. When I first started as a musician, I would never look for fanfare. I never wanted you to clap for me. I didn't care if you clapped for me or not because I was doing what was in my heart to do. Nowadays, everybody's looking, you're the greatest of all time. No, you're not the greatest of all time. Let's stop that. Stop being fooled by these adjectives these people are telling you on your social media timeline. It's a bunch of nonsense. People just saying what they hear other people say. Yes, you can play. Everybody and their mother can play now. Everybody's not gonna make it. And I think if you could figure that out and accept that, it'll make your journey as a musician so much easier, so much less stressful. So what? People are out on tour. We out here. We getting it. So what? That's the most overrated thing in the world is going on a tour. All right, good. You on a tour. Happy for you, man. I hope you make wise decisions. You got all these fast women out here on this tour that could screw your life up. Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. Women and male musicians. Woo. Let's talk about that. Fellas, well, one thing I'm not doing is judging you. God knows I would never do that because I have my shortcomings. I'm not perfect. I'm just giving you advice so you don't fall into that trap. You think you got problems now. You mess with the wrong woman, bro. Your life gonna be upside down. No disrespect to women, but nowadays the scriptures flip. Women are very aggressive when it comes to men. And you have to be a very disciplined dude to say no when you got an attractive woman in front of you, basically telling you, I'm all yours if you want me. Be very careful. The Bible calls it diverse temptation. Just because you're tempted doesn't mean you have to jump in. And like I said, I know it's very tempting because women are God's greatest gift on the earth, greatest creation ever. But it can ruin your life. Young musician, you having a baby from somebody, you soon realize you can't even stand them, but you love her body. She look good in that outfit, but now your life is screwed. She's having a baby. You don't want nothing to do with her. That means more money coming out of your pocket. You got diseases out here. You got, and another thing is when you start dealing with women, just like the men, they got mental illness, mental challenges too. You don't know what you're getting. Because we see a woman in her beauty, we're not thinking about that. You just see those breasts, her butt, her legs, and you just jump in, not realizing she could be bipolar. She could have something going on with her that's going to really challenge you. Like, what the heck is this? If you don't know bipolar and multiple personalities, if you never dealt with that, it's going to be a shock to your system. People have gotten married to someone that had those things, and they couldn't figure out what in the world is wrong with you. Why are you all over the place? Then they got divorced, and then they soon found out the person got diagnosed with bipolar, multiple personality disorder. It's not something easy to deal with. Be careful, musicians. Be careful out here. The world is very tempting playground. You got to be very wise in how you move, like playing chess. You got to think about it. You see the people play chess, they're sitting there like this. They're thinking, all right, what's my next move? If I do this move, I'm done. We, including me, all of us got to be chess players in life, especially musicians. Think about your next move. Can this move make me a winner? Or could this move make me a loser? Could this move make me have less stress? Or if I do this move, I'm going to have more stress in my life. Slow down. Too many people are getting in cars and going 170 miles an hour when the speed limit is 25. Why are you going so fast? Could be because you have a mental challenge. You're anxious. You just got to be moving. You just got to be doing something. Could be something else. Be careful with these drugs, guys. I know weed is legal, but please don't think that you can't get addicted to that stuff. Plenty of people have, and it could lead to other things if you don't have control, if you don't have discipline in your life. It's all about discipline and control. Everybody's not disciplined. Everybody doesn't have control. So I just wanted to tap into those topics. I think I hit a lot of things that I think I hit everything I wanted to talk about. But as a musician, I've been a musician since I was 14. I'm 57. I'm talking, you looking at somebody that basically knows what he's talking about. I've been there, done that. I know a lot of musicians struggling. I know a lot of them are in need of therapy, but have yet to go to therapy. I don't understand why you guys won't go, especially our black brothers. You got to stop all the stuff that you're getting in your head that's not true. We got to stop doing that and learn the truth for yourself. And when you can't learn the truth for yourself, you'll stay ignorant. We all are ignorant at birth, but then as time goes on, you study to show yourself approved, and that's how you become wise. Ignorance of wise. I'll take wise. So I hope I helped somebody. From the words that I said, I hope I woke you up. That's part of what this podcast is to wake people up and turn the light bulb on and make you say, oh, okay. Not judging anybody. God knows I can't judge anyone because I've fallen short a million times. But one thing I can do is try to give you some wisdom. Wisdom that's where it's at. That's what we all need to be striving for wisdom and just to be better people. And, jealousy is a terrible thing in the music world. Cliques are a terrible thing in the music world. And if that can cause you some mental problems too, because cliques have a way of just shunning people out and ignoring your gift, your talent, and never giving you an opportunity. And if you're struggling with cliques, I would tell you, be strong and maybe change your crowd. Because I can admit that musicians can be dickheads, can be some jerks. I know plenty of them. Arrogant. Don't care about your feelings. But don't let that get you down. I know for a fact people are struggling with cliques all across the land. Because that's what musicians do. They form cliques. They got in the room, they ain't letting you in the room. I don't know your religious beliefs, but I believe in God. God will get me in that room. If it's meant for me to be in that room, who you think I'm going to rely on, a hater or God? Come on. God is the greatest for me. And I'm not on here to preach to you, but you just know I believe in God, and I'm not ashamed to talk about him. But when it comes to cliques, be careful. Don't let that clique stuff get you down, because cliques are everywhere, in every genre, every country, every town. I was always in the in crowd because of just who I was playing for. I was playing for the top people. They knew I could play. So it was just meant to be. So I never really had a problem with cliques, but I definitely see how they operate. And I know a lot of young musicians come to me in my inbox on social media and they bring it up, and it hurts them. They're hurt. They're devastated in some instances. Being a musician could be real cutthroat. Cutthroat. So you got to be prepared for that. I mean, everybody think it's the easy thing to do. It's not, because people in the world are just so cruel. Start hanging around people that care about you. I'm going to say this. I'm glad I remembered to say this, and I'm going to close. If nobody ever told you this, I'm going to tell you this on the Reggie Parker Show. In life, you got to put people in categories. You got church folk. They just your church folk. You see them on Sunday, and that's it. You're not even going to talk to them the rest of the week. Bandmates. Please make sure you put your bandmates in that category. When you play in a band, a church band, a regular band, any kind of band, you don't have to tell them your business. You're there to play whatever instrument they hired you to play. Be cordial. Learn how to play the game. They don't need to know your struggles at home. They don't need to know your business. They don't need to know none of that. Your coworkers, your neighbors, all of these are categories. If you put people in categories, you'll know how to act accordingly. And you got your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your wife, the important categories right there. At least they should be in your life. So make sure you put people in the categories. Everybody doesn't deserve to be in your business. That your business is way out there in the 200-foot part of the ocean. A lot of people just deserve to be walking on that sand on the beach. They don't need to know what's going on deep in your life. Hope you got it. So yeah, mental health is everything, guys. Please, if you have an issue, please go get checked. One thing I don't want to see is musicians thinking about suicide because they don't matter. They think they don't matter just based off social media. They don't get the likes. They don't get the attention, but they can play. A lot of musicians can play. They don't get the recognition. I know plenty that just never got a chance to play on records and get their name out, but they still can play. Don't ever get to that point where you start to think about hurting yourself. If you do, please call. There's plenty of suicide lines out here for you to call and get help. And like I said, it starts with therapy as well. You tell your therapist, listen, I've been having suicidal ideations. Those are just thoughts of just possibly ending my life. And then you have the more serious ones where you actually have a plan to end your life. And I don't want that to ever happen. I don't want to hear any stories of musicians taking their life, because there's a lot of stuff that could cause a person that's just not strong in their mind to do something like that. If you know anybody that's talking like that, please get them some help immediately. That's serious business when someone starts talking about hurting themselves. They start talking about hallucinating and hearing voices, seeing things. Don't take that stuff lightly. All that is serious mental illness situations. So people, I hope I helped someone by having this podcast. I know I don't really hear people talking about this subject with musicians. So I figured I'll dive in and be one of the first to do it. If this touched you in any way, if someone else needs to hear it, please share it, send it to them, let them watch it. We got to get into just sitting still and listening to wisdom, relaxing. Put the phone down. It ain't I guarantee you social media will be there after this podcast. It ain't going nowhere. Stop following people that will give you wisdom. Start following people that will make you feel better about yourself. There's plenty of them out there. Stop feeling you got to be in the in crowd. The in crowd ain't doing nothing. What's the in crowd doing? Talking gossip. I've had more hate sent to me from gospel musicians on social media than anybody. Gospel musicians trying to embarrass me, clown me. You trying to clown Reggie Parker is an absolute total waste of time. When no one knows your name, you barely know your name. Resume empty as it can be, but that shows you their mentality. Mentality is everything. I could never try to embarrass somebody like that on social media, especially someone older than me that I know for a fact is well accomplished, because I was raised different. Nowadays, people don't have no filter. They don't care. Church folk, when church folk don't care, that could tell you just how bad the world is. When church folk don't care, say anything, that's where we are as a society. We need to pray, ladies and gentlemen. Pray for this world. That's what we need. I thank you for watching today. No matter what life throws at you, never lose your swagger. Thank you for watching the Reggie Parker Show. Until next time, be blessed. Hang in there. It's going to get better. Peace and love.